I learned in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
He hath borne himself beyond the promise of age, doing, in the figure of the lamb, the feats of a lion.
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from the wars, or no?
I know none of that name, lady, but there was none such in the army of any sort.
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned and as pleasant as he ever was.
I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? For indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
He hath done good service, and a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady, but what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man, but for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with one. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord, you will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than a pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he have caught the Benedict, well, it will cost him £1,000 ere be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
Nope, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good Signor Leonata, you're come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace.
I think this is your daughter.
Her father hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict, no, for then you were a child.
If Signor Leonata be her mother, she would not have had her head on the shoulders for all of Messina, as like her as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear lady, disdain? Are you yet living?
Is it possible disdain should die while she hath such meat food to feed as it, Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat, but it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted, and I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I am of your humor for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or some other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and 'twere such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot, teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, but keep your way, in God's name I have done.
You always end with the jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonata. Signor Claudio and Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonata hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at least a month.
Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please at your grace lead on.
Your hand, Leonata? We will go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonata?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Why, i'faith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she no other than she were unhandsome, and being no other than she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I'm in sport. In mine eye, she's the sweetest lady I ever looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and she were not possessed with a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the first May doth the last December. But I hope you have no intent of turning husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Is't come to this? Shall I never see a bachelor of 60 again?
What secret hath you held here that you followed not to Leonata's?
He is in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonata's short daughter.
If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen. If you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor how is that she should be worthy, is in the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in that at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in despite of beauty.
That a woman convinced me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her the most humble thanks. But that I will have a reach-it winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me, because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any. I will do myself the right to trust none, and that fine is, for the which I may go the finer. I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee, ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love.
Good Signor Benedict, repair to Leonata's. Commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
Examine your conscience, and so I leave you.
Hath Leonata any son, my lord?
No child but Hero. She is his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord. When you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked, but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant, in their rooms come soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is. Saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it. I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise and tell fair Hero I am Claudio, and in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then after to her mother will I break, and the conclusion is she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy, and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath ta'en you newly into his grace. Where it is impossible you should take true root, but by the fair weather that you make yourself.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering honest man, it must not be denied that I am a plain-dealing villain. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Baraccio?
I came from yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonata, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? And who? Which way looks he?
Mary, on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonata.
Very forward march chick. How came you to this?
I whipped me behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him in any way, I bless myself every way. You are sure and will assist me.
To the death, my lord.
Was not Count John here at supper? I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I'm heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedict. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Then half Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world, if a could get her goodwill.
By my troth, I could endure a husband with a beard on his face. I had rather lie in the woolen.
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore I will even take 6 pence in earnest of the bearward, and lead his apes into hell.
Well, then go you into hell?
No, but to the gate, and there will the devil meet me, like an old cuckold, with horns on his head, and say, Get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. Here's no place for you maids. So deliver I up to my apes, and away to St. Peter for the heavens. He shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
Well, daughter, I trust you'll be ruled by your mother.
Yes, Faith, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, Mother, as it please you. But yet for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, Mother, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
No, I won't take a husband until they make men out of something other than dirt.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer. Cousin, you apprehend, passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, aunt. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering. Make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
Sir, you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, especially when I walk away.
Speak low, if you speak love.
Well, I would if you did like me.
So would not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better, the hearers may cry, Amen.
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful. Well, this was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he's the prince's jester, a very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. I'm sure he's in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Sure my brother is amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn her mother to break with her about it. The ladies follow her, and but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you not Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you, dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear in his affection.
So did I too, and he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict, but hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, Hero.
The lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. She told me, not thinking I had myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest, with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man at a mark, with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks ponards, and every word stabs. If her breath was as terrible as his terminations, she were no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had left her before he transgressed. So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her. O God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord, he lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it, a double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he won it of me with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools.
Why? How now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then? Sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil Count, civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
Faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true, though. I'll be sworn, if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair Hero is won. I have broke with her mother, and your goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace had made the match, and in grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy, if I could say how much. Lady, as I am yours, you are mine.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let him not speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord, I thank it, poor fool. It keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good Lord for alliance. Thus goes every one to the world but I, and I am sunburned. I may sit in a corner and cry, hey-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I would rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord, unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you, for, out of question, you were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord, my mother cried, but then there was a star dance, and under that I was born. Cousins, God give you joy.
By my troth, pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence just a seven-night, and a time too brief, too, to have all things answer my mind.
But I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go duly by us. I will in the interim undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and I doubt not but to fashion it, if you three will but minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am for you.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero? I will teach you how to humor your cousin, that she shall fall in love with Benedict, and I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedict that, in despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. Go in with me, and I will tell you my drift.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonata.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out of her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that, to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother, spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you do mightily hold up to a contaminated state, such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and kill Leonata. Look you for any other issue.
Only to despite them, I will endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances, which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero, and bring them to see this very night before the intended wedding. And there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty, that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can. I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats. I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known whether there was no music in him but the drum and the fife, and now he'd rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would walk 10 mile afoot to see a good armor, and now he will lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier, and now he has turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted to see that with my own eyes? I cannot tell, I think not, I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster, but I'll take my oath on it. Till he have made an oyster of me, he shall not make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come into my grace. Rich shall she be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color, please God? Ha! The prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide me in the arbor.
You see where Benedict hath hid himself? Come hither, Leonela. What was it you told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedict?
Oh, aye, stock on. I did never think that that lady have any loved any man.
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behaviours ever to abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh God, counterfeit! There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why, what effects of passions shows she?
Bait the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How? Pray you. You amaze me.
I should think this a go, but that Canavery cannot sure hide himself in such reverence.
He hath ta'en the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
Down upon her knee she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so, and the ecstasy hath so much overborne her that my daughter is sometime feared she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
It were good that Benedict knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it, and torment the poor lady worse.
She's an excellent sweet lady, and, out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedict.
I am sorry for her, as I have just cause, being her aunt and her guardian.
I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all other respects and made her half myself. I pray you, tell Benedict of it, and hear what it will say.
Were it good, think you?
Hero thinks surely she will die, for she says she will die if he love her not, and she will die ere she make her love known, and she will die if he woo her.
If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it, for the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
Before God and in my mind very wise.
He doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote upon her upon this, I will never trust my expectations.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and your gentlewoman carry. Let us send her to call him in to dinner.
This can be no trick. This conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. Love me, why it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will benefit and bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say too that she will rather die than give a sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem too proud. Happy are they that they hear their destructions and cannot put them into mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth. I cannot bear them witness, and virtuousness. 'Tis so, I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me, because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not appete alter. I man loves the mend in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shaw quips the sentences of these paper bullets of the brain, all a man from the career of his humor. No, the world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live to see till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love on her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I didn't take any more pains in bringing this message than you took pains in thanking me. If the job had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message?
Yes, as much pleasure as one might take in choking a bird at knife point. You want to eat, sir? Goodbye, then.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come to dinner. There's a double meaning in that.
Now, Margaret, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be of how Benedict is sick in love with Beatrice. Now begin, for look where Beatrice, like a lapwing, runs close by the ground to hear our conference. No, truly, Margaret, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits aren't as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince, and my new troth love.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they love Benedict, to wish him to wrestle with affection and never let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full as fortune, a bed as ever Beatrice shall ever couch upon?
O God of love, I know doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, mispriring what they look on, and with her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seem weak. She cannot love.
Sure, I think so, and therefore certainly it were not good. She knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw man. How wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured. But she would spell him backward if fair-faced. She would swear the gentleman could be her sister. If black, why, nature drawing of of an antique, made of a foul blot. If tall, a lance, ill-headed. If low, an agate, very vilely cut. If speaking, why, a vain blow with all winds. If silent, why, a block moves with none. So turns she every man with the wrong side on, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simplifies and much purchaseth.
Sure, sir, such carping is not commendable.
But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh at me out of myself, press me up to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedict, like a coward fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly, and in a better death than die with mock, which is as bad to die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather I will go to Benedict and counsel him to fight against his passion.
So rare a gentleman is Signor Benedict.
He is the only man of Italy always accepted my dear Claudio.
I pray you, be not angry with me, madam. Speaking my fancy, Signor Benedict, foreshaped, forbearing, argument and valor, goes foremost in report through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
When are you married, madam?
Why, every day, tomorrow. Come, go in.
She is limed, I warrant you. We have caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What fire in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt farewell, and maiden pride adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good den, brother.
If your leisure is served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you. Yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow?
You know he does.
I know not that, when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me by now thou. I will manifest.
Why? What's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, the lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she, Leonata's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal?
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warrant, but go with me, you shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her. But it would be better fit your honor to change your mind.
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else it were pity that they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
Hugh Oatcake, sir, or George Seacole, for they can both write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable?
You have, I knew it. It would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, why give God thanks and make no boast of it? And for your writing and reading, let that appear when there is no need of such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore bear you the lantern. This your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if he will not stand?
Why then take no note of him, but let him go, and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We will rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call it at the alehouses, and bid those that are drunk and get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Why then let them alone till they are sober. If they make you not, then the better answer you may say is they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think the touch pitch would be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I will not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it. How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Why then depart in peace and let the child wake her with crying, for the ewe that will not hear her lamb when it bays will never answer a calf when he bleats.
'Tis very true.
This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince at night, you may stay him.
Nay, by Our Lady, that I think I cannot.
5 shillings to one end. With any man that shows the statues, he may stay him. Marry not without the prince, be willing. For indeed the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to stay a man against his will.
By Our Lady, I think it be so.
Well, masters, good night. And there be any matter of weight chances, call me up. Keep your fellows' counsel and your own, and good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, master, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here upon the church bench till 2, and then all go to bed.
One more word, honest neighbors. I pray you watch about Signor Leonata's door, for the wedding being there tomorrow, there is a great coil tonight. Adieu, be vigilant, and I beseech you.
What, Conrad?
Peace, stir not.
Conrad, I say!
Here, man, I am at thy elbow.
Stand thee close, then, under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treason, masters, yet stand close.
Therefore, know I have earned 1,000 ducats
Is it
of
possible?
Don John.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Not so neither, but know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the Lady Hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leans me out at her mistress' chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw afar off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And they thought they Margaret was Hero?
2 of them did, the prince and Claudio, but the devil my master knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths, which first possessed them, partly by the dark night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made. Away went Claudio enraged, swore he would meet her, as he was appointed, next morning at the temple, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw or night, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you, in the prince's name, stand, Call up the right master constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that ever was known in the Commonwealth.
Masters,
Never speak. We charge you let us obey you to go with us. We are like to prove a goodly commodity being taken up of these men's bills.
a commodity in question, I warrant you. Come, we'll obey you.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Marry, madam, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Marry, this is it, madam.
Yes, in truth it is, madam.
Yes, what is it, my good friends?
Goodman Verges, madam speaks a little off the matter.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living that is an old man and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous, palabras, neighbor Verges.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so. But we are the poor duke's officers, but truly for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all of your worship.
All thy tediousness on me, ah?
Yeah, and 'twere 1,000 pound more than 'tis, for I hear as any good exclamation on your worship as of any man in the city, and though I be a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Marry, madam, our walk tonight, accepting your worship's presence, hath ta'en a errant knave as any in Messina.
A good old man, madam. He will be talking, as they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us. All men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
One word, madam. Our watch, madam, have indeed comprehended this auspicious person, and we would have him this morning examined before your worship.
Take his examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffigance.
My lord, they say for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good partner, go. Get you to the jail. We are now to examination this man.
And we must do it wisely.
We will spare for no wit, I warrant you. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Come, Friar Francis, be brief, only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No.
To be married to her, friar, you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer. None.
Stand thee by, friar. Mother, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonata, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold, how like a maid she blushes here. Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you, in your own proof, have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity.
No, Leonata, I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and calmly love.
And seeming I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee, seeming! I will write against it. You seem to me as Diane in her orb, as chaste as is the blood ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored, that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Madam, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
Oh God, defend me! How am I beset?
What man was he talked with you yesternight, out at your window betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you are a maid, answer to this.
I talk with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why, then are you no maiden? Leonata, I am sorry you must hear. Upon mine honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour last night. Talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, hero, what a hero hadst thou been, if half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair, farewell, thou pure impiety and impious purity. For thee I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang, to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it more be gracious.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
Why, how now, cousin?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother her spirits up.
How doth thy lady?
Dead, I think. Help, aunt, hero, why, hero, aunt, Signor Benedict, friar.
Oh, fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
How now, cousin hero?
Comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth not every earthenly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero, do not ope thine eyes, for I think thou wouldst not quickly die. Thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames. Myself would on the rewardness of reproaches strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one. Child, I for that of frugal nature's frame. Oh, one too much by thee. Why had I one? Why ever wast thou lovely in my eyes? But mine and mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine that I was proud on, mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine. Valuing of her, why, she has fallen into a pit of ink that the wide sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little which may season give to her foul-tainted flesh.
Madam, be patient. For my part, I am so tired and wonder, I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although until last night I have this 12th month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed. Would the two princes lie, and Claudio lie, who loved her so that, speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die.
Hear me a little. Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
They know that they do accuse me. I know none.
If I know more than any man alive, that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. Oh, my mother, prove that you of any man with me have conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yester might maintain the change of words with any creature, refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprision in the princes.
2 of them are the very bent of honor, and if their wisdom be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirits toil in fame of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall hear of it.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here the prince is left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
Marry, this well carried shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good. She dying as it must be so maintained, upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and accused of every hearer. So will it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear that she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in more precious habit, that when she lived indeed, then shall he mourn. If ever love had interest in his liver, and wished he not so accused her.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may leave me.
'Tis well consented, presently awayed. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely, I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way I can show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
As strange as the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say I loved nothing so well as you. But believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I'm sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Why then, God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart?
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you, let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height of a villain, that has slandered, scorned, and dishonored mine kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! What bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor, oh God, that I were a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out a window, a proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Sweet hero, she is wronged, she is slandered, she is undone.
Beatrice.
He is now as valiant as Hercules that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice. By this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul that Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say that she is dead. And so, farewell.
Is our whole disassembly appeared?
Oh, a stool and a cushion for the sexton.
Which be the malefactors?
Marry, that am I and my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, marry, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Braccio.
Pray, write down Baraccio. Yours, sirrah?
I am a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters do. You serve God?
Yea, sir.
We hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God, and write God first, for God defend, but God should go. Before such villains, masters, it is proved already that you are little better than false knaves, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about without him. Come you hither, sirrah. A word in your ear. I say to you, it is thought you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Well, stand aside. For God, they are both in a tale. Have you writ down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that there are accusers.
Yea, Mary, that's the eftest way. Let the watch come forward, masters. I charge you in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John, a villain. Why, this is a flat perjury to call the prince's brother a villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow piece, I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What you heard you him say else?
Mary, that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever committed.
Yea, by mass that it is.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean, upon his words, to disgrace hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
O villain, that will be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John in this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonatus. I will go before and show her their examination.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Let them be in the hands.
Off, coxcomb.
God's my life, where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's offer, coxcomb. Come, bind them, thou naughty varlet.
Away! You are an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my ears? Oh, that he were here to write me. Down an ass! But masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it not be written down, yet forget not that I am an ass.
Good day.
Hear you, my lords.
Some haste, Leonardo.
Some haste, my lord? Are you so hasty now?
Nay, do not quarrel with the old woman.
Who wrongs her?
Mary, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler, thou. I fear thee not.
Mary, beshrew my hand, if it should give your age such cause of fear.
Tush, tush, tush. Never fleer and jest at me. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander hath gone through and through her heart. and she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept, save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, old woman.
My lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare.
Away, I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so daff me? Thou hast killed my child. If thou killst me, thou shalt kill a woman.
My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on my honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord,
Hear you.
No, I will not be heard.
See, here comes the man we went to seek.
Now, signor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, signor. You almost come to part almost a fray.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. My lord, for your many courtesies I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest, and I'll warrant you, for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
Officer, what offense this man...
Marry, sir, he has committed false report. Moreover, he has spoken untruth. Secondarily, he is a slanderer. Sixth and lastly, he has belied a lady. Thirdly, he has verified unjust. And to conclude, he is a lying knave.
This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. Do you hear me, and let this count kill me? I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdom could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander on the lady hero. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in hero's garments, how you disgraced her when you should marry her. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation, and briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he utter it. Sweet hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved it first.
Come, bring away the plaintiff, and masters, do not forget to specify when time and place shall serve. That I am an ass.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes.
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men, a third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I.
I cannot bid my daughter live. That were impossible, but I pray you both, possess the people in Messina here, how innocent she died. Tomorrow morning, come you to my house, and since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost the copy of mine child that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble madam, I do embrace your offer.
Tomorrow, then, I will expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong.
No, by soul, she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but hath always have been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which indeed is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me an ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment.
Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart, and if a merry meeting may be visited, God prohibit it.
The God of love that sits above and knows me, how I pitiful I desire. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried, I cannot find out no rhyme to lady but baby, an innocent rhyme for scorn, horn, a hard rhyme for school, fool, a babbling rhyme, very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, Signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay, but till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well now, and yet ere I go, let me go with that I came, which is with knowing what had passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frightened the word out of his right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And I pray thee now, tell me for which my bad parts didst thou fall in love with first?
For them altogether, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they will not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, a good epitaph. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart, if you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love which that my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo people. And now tell me, how doth thy cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me and mend. There will I leave you too, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your aunt. It is proved my lady Hero hath been falsely accused, the prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John is the author of all, who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, Signor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And moreover, I will go to thy uncle's.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the prince and Claudio who accused her. Upon the error that you heard debated, the prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, Signor?
To bind me or undo me, one of them. Signor Leonata, truth it is, good Signor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor, and I do with an eye of love requite her.
But what's your will?
My will is your goodwill may stand with ours, this day to be conjured in the state of honorable marriage.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter?
For this I owe you. This is the lady I must seize upon?
This same is she, and I do give you her.
Why, then she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not, till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this holy friar, I'm your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved me, you were my other husband.
Another hero.
Nothing certainter. One hero died defiled, but I do live. And surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero that is dead.
She died, my lord, but whiles her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify, when after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do you not love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Why then your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived? They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Troth, no more than reason.
Why, then my cousin and Margaret are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore that you were almost sick for me.
They swore that you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me.
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon it that he loves her. For here's a paper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, written my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict.
A miracle! Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee. But by this light I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace. I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, prince. Since I do not propose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the word cannot say against it, and therefore never flout at me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio did think to have beaten thee, but in thy art thou art my kinsman. Leave unbruised, and love my cousin. Come, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels. Prince, thou art said, get thee a wife. Get thee a wife.
My lord, your brother John is ta'en in flight and brought with armed men back to Messina.
I think not on him till tomorrow. I'll deserve the brave punishment for him. Strike up, pipers.